The biggest blizzard in years for millions on the way as parts of the Northeast brace for wind and potentially multiple feet of snow in spots. Who could see what in today's video? Welcome in, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's February 21st. And I think the big one of the year for some of us, at least, on the way as we go into tomorrow and Monday, especially as a big-time nor'easter is going to crank on up the coast and bring all of those impacts that I just mentioned. I've got all the latest timing, the totals, and the details that you need in today's video. If you're new to the channel, though, welcome in. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for trusting me to give you your forecast. My name is Gerald. I'm a meteorologist. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell for the latest notifications. Folks, doing all that really helps the channel continue to grow and find more people. All right, won't leave you waiting any longer. Let's get right to what matters the most, and that's your forecast. Next to me is the brand new run of the European model showing that nor'easter crank up the coast. And let's just pause for a second and let's give the GFS some credit, not even the European. The GFS sniffed this one out before any other model. While some of the other models started backing off, the GFS held strong, and it looks like it is going to catch a major win here with this big nor'easter looking imminent at this point. So yeah, big kudos to the GFS, but I am showing you the European because it is still the European after all, and I do think it is showing a pretty realistic solution here next to me with that big nor'easter running up the coast really tomorrow and Monday being the big days, but could linger all the way into Tuesday for some of us. Now, the setup for this is kind of a complicated one, but obviously something you need if you want a big snowstorm is cold air. And we are getting a pocket of below average temperatures. You can see that big air mass continuing to scoot east, now getting into the eastern United States, including parts of the Northeast. And it is February still, so I know we've had a warm up for some of us at least recently, but February is still already cold enough for snow for really much of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. So the cold air, not going to be a problem with this system now. It may be one of those storms that starts as rain for some of us, but that will not be the main precipitation type as it does quickly change over to big time snow for millions of folks here along the I-95 corridor. And we do officially have this as well, blizzard warnings. Yeah, you heard that right. Blizzard warnings officially in effect for the Jersey Shore, for parts of Delaware, Long Island, I believe the entirety of Long Island, it looks like there, and into the coastline there of Connecticut as well. And I expect that to get extended up into parts of Massachusetts throughout the day today, likely to get that added. Winter storm warnings here into the pink boxes. So the entire state of New Jersey is either under a winter storm warning or a blizzard warning. It's been a while since we've seen those. And then winter storm watches here in the blue boxes from West Virginia all the way up through parts, or really the entirety of Massachusetts, that is. But that is likely to get upgraded to winter storm warnings and even some blizzard warnings as well, as I said, throughout the next probably 24 hours or so. All right, that's a quick little debrief. Let's dive into the setup for this. So let me show you current satellite imagery, show you how that's going to evolve over the next 48 hours to give us this big time storm, and then dive into our latest model data with the timing and the potential totals that could fall. And for some, we'll be counting it in feet instead of inches. Well, the jet stream is setting up in a pretty classic look for a big-time nor'easter. We've got this big swirling mid-level low pressure kind of over parts of Canada here. That is going to be our upper-level trigger for energy, and that is starting to kind of transfer out this way and then start to move eastbound over parts of the Northeast and parts of the Mid-Atlantic as we go through the next day or two. And it's already picking up a lot of moisture. Notice this atmospheric river from the Pacific all the way through the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic. That is our big moisture plume that is eventually going to kind of wrap into this next low pressure that ends up forming, and it's all going to come together for a big time storm right over the Northeast that will end up riding on up the coast. So that's kind of a little debrief of how things are unfolding right now. Let's time it out for you though with our latest GFS model, and I'll move the map here in a way that you can actually see the time above my head. That is in Eastern time, so just to kind of get you familiar with what we're looking at. Now let me back this up into this afternoon. This is a vorticity map, a mid-level vorticity map to be more specific. Basically, this is showing where we have spin in the atmosphere about halfway up, or about halfway to space, if you will. And this is a very crucial tool to use when forecasting these big mid-latitude cyclones, or really much of anything in meteorology, as a lot of our lifting mechanisms comes back to where we have spin, and more specifically, where that spin is moving to. Now, you'll begin to notice all of this spin or vorticity or whatever you want to call it, storm energy, starts to consolidate into a well-defined upper level low pressure by tomorrow afternoon. This is Sunday. You have a stout low pressure. You've got this big trough dipping down into the eastern United States, and this is beginning to create a lot of diffluence aloft in the atmosphere. You're probably thinking, Gerald, what in the world is diffluence? What are you talking about? Well, I promise it's probably not nearly as complicated as you might think. Let me walk you through it. So like I said, we've got this big trough here. I'll kind of draw it with this dashed line. That's our trough axis, or the center of the trough, and it's always defined with these dashed lines in meteorology. You've got a lot of wind coming into this thing. And anytime wind is coming into something, it has to kind of converge or do this. So in the upper levels, as this map is showing, the wind is coming together and converging there on the western side. And it's that convergence that hits itself and then ends up sinking as it ends up coming in on itself. That creates high pressure, as sinking motion creates high pressure in meteorology. We know that. So that will lead to kind of sunnier skies in the Midwest here, likely on Sunday, or at least the plains. But on the opposite side of that, remember, it came together as it was entering this trough, but as it's leaving, it does the opposite. It separates, or kind of does this maneuver, if you will, and think like you're swimming in the ocean or the pool. If you're doing that with water, what are you doing? Well, you're scooping it away, but we know that the water doesn't kind of disappear forever. New water comes from below to fill its place. The same thing happens here with fluid dynamics in meteorology, as you then get a lot of rising motion here on this right-hand side where we have that diffluence or divergence. And that creates a lot of rising motion in this case. And more specifically, it really gets going as we get into here. Notice what happens, that upper level low gets even stronger. And the stronger it gets and the more closed off it gets, the even higher amounts of lift that we get in the atmosphere. And that's exactly what we're seeing, is explosive levels of lift kind of in this corridor, specifically over New England. I think is how it's shaping up right now for some of the highest amounts of lift in the atmosphere. And you'll end up seeing that correlates quite well with some of our highest snowfall totals. So that's kind of the setup here. And then eventually it works on out of here. And guess what? Then we're on the converging side, or the part that high pressure builds in by the time we get on into Tuesday. But yeah, this is a big time upper level system that will transfer to a surface system. All right, let's get to some of our high resolution models, and I'll show you where the forecast is still a little iffy, but where I'm gaining high confidence that we're going to see one of the biggest snowstorms in at least a while. And then we'll start talking about exactly how much snow that means right for your front yard. All right, I'm going to start with the FV3, or the high resolution FV3 model, basically. And you'll notice this one is going to show a big time storm. Then I'm going to show you the RGEM model, which will also show a big time storm. However, there will be subtle differences that could be a very big deal for some areas here that are going to get potentially, maybe a foot or two of snow, or more just like half a foot is going to be one of the differences you end up seeing. Let's time it out for you, though. We've already got some rain down into the southeast today through the Carolinas, down into Georgia by this afternoon. That kind of keeps on progressing eastbound throughout the day. And eventually, I will say, we do need to watch for some stronger storms down into southern South Carolina, southern Georgia. Watch for a severe weather threat from probably about Georgetown all the way back down into kind of the Auburn area of Alabama, and all points in between there. Strong gusty winds, maybe even a small tornado threat cannot be ruled out. So keep that in mind if you are down there today. Not just winter weather that we're tracking, but also a little bit of severe weather. Then this starts to form into our coastal low pressure. This is by very early tomorrow morning. We've got some rain still in the Carolinas, much needed rain at that. So, cross your fingers and count your blessings if you are able to get some pretty good totals out of that. Then this starts to ride up the coast, though, and turns into much more of a winter weather event. It looks like a pretty good shield of rain and snow tomorrow morning on this model, at least. But what I want you to notice on this one is it has a lot of precipitation over kind of Virginia and into parts of kind of Pennsylvania, and then rides up the coast and really turns into that big winter storm here by tomorrow afternoon and evening. I think that's when this goes from maybe a messy kind of rain snow mix for some of us to a full-blown heavy snow falling, potentially, at least if this model's right, from DC to Baltimore to Philly, really the entire state of New Jersey, getting in on this action. And then you keep it going and really cranks up. At this point, all that lift in the upper levels of the atmosphere is starting to really work its magic by the overnight of Sunday going into Monday. And folks, this thing bombs out. It goes from about 1,000 millibars Sunday afternoon at about 1 p.m. to 980 millibars by midnight. I mean, that is a very impressive drop in pressure. Very, very impressive. Just to put it in light terms, I don't even know how else to describe it, but that would be a full-blown bomb cyclone, as we say, just meaning it's bombing out, or it is rapidly deepening in pressure. And by the time you look at this, I mean, that is a classic looking blizzard from Delaware all the way up to Massachusetts here by the overnight of Sunday on this model. Crushes New Jersey, crushes Philly, crushes Long Island. And then by the time we get to Monday morning, it's crushing. And I really do mean that up through Connecticut, Rhode Island, into Massachusetts. Again, full-blown blizzard there. Going to be counting the feet potentially, or counting the snow rather, and feet potentially in some of those communities. Just keeps riding up the coast. Big time snowstorm here by Monday morning, even getting up into the down east areas of Maine, where some models have not been as excited about you. This model is a bit more excited. I'll kind of zoom in even a little bit more here so you can kind of see what we're talking about a little bit more in depth. And yeah, keeps on moving it north, gets snow into parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, up into the down east of Maine. This is by Monday afternoon, keeps on going, keeps on doing its magic. Starts to wind down for Philly and New York City by Monday afternoon. Still snowing good in Boston, but then winds down even for Boston. And still snowing with some bands there, but starts to lighten up a bit, if you will, here by the overnight of Monday on into Tuesday. And that's as far out as this model goes. All right. Let's switch over to another model and you'll see where some of the differences are, and then we'll start talking totals after that. All right, this is the RGM model, and it's going to show still the same storm. It's going to be a big storm, but there are going to be some slight differences for some of us, and I think that is important to note. Now, it does start the same here Sunday morning with kind of rain, snow mix over parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, and then does begin to crank this up, but the key is where it cranks it up. It cranks it up a little bit further east, and because of that, this would not be as big of a storm in D.C., Baltimore, and kind of Philly, that corridor. Now, it would still be a really big storm in Delaware and New Jersey and up into Long Island and up into southern New England. I think those folks are basically locked in at this point for a blizzard. But I think there are questions for kind of that DC to Philly corridor on exactly how big of a storm this will be still. And you can see this model, though, it still ends up doing the same thing, bombs up the coast. And basically all of our guidance, I will say, is coming into very strong agreement that if you're in southern Mass, Rhode Island, Long Island, especially eastern Long Island, into Connecticut, you're in the bullseye for this one. I really do think so, especially kind of Cape Cod, Nantucket, right into this corridor. In fact, actually, let me draw it more like this, kind of Jersey Shore right into here. That is likely going to be the bullseye of this storm, as a lot of our guidance is coming together. And you can see this model and the last model both show very heavy snow in that region, including thunder snow potential. I'll tell you, that is a very real possibility with this storm and blowing winds. And then again, kind of does the same thing, moves up the coast. Is not as exciting for Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, but does nonetheless still get snow there, and then crushes Nova Scotia with big snow as well. And then there is back-end snow as well. I haven't talked much about West Virginia out of this, but notice West Virginia getting plenty of ongoing northwest flow snow, including the Smokies in North Carolina, northwest flow snow for you. You've got some streamers coming in off the Great Lakes, Ohio, even out into the Finger Lakes. Erie going to get some snow out of this, even if it's not directly from the storm itself. Kind of that flow coming in on the backside will be enough to fire off some banding of snow and some of that northwest flow snow as well, as I mentioned. All right, that's a look at kind of where we have some high agreement, a little bit of differences. Now let's talk about snowfall totals. And yeah, go ahead and brace for impact, if you will, because some of these numbers are going to be very impressive. Let's start with a look at probabilities. I think that's a good place to start here. And we'll start with the very easy bare bones. What are the odds of getting an inch of snow? And it's a guarantee from basically everywhere from DC up to the down east areas of Maine. Anywhere you see like basically this just solid block of yellow, that's where, yeah, you are going to get at least an inch of snow out of the system, which is enough to say that it did snow. Probably the same thing for the mountains of West Virginia, Elkins all the way down here into southern West Virginia towards Beckley. And I would even say pretty likely here into the Smokies, although this map may not be as excited. I'm pretty sure many of you will be getting an inch of snow. It's going to be a close call for Newport News down to Virginia Beach into Elizabeth City. That's where you're probably a little bit, more on the southern end of this. You probably want to be north of Richmond for this one and kind of the Chesapeake Bay northbound to get snow accumulation out of this. I'll even say though, Cleveland to Erie to Buffalo likely to get at least an inch of snow. Parts of the Midwest going to get an inch of snow. So you get the idea. Yeah, a lot of us are going to at least see the flakes fly, but what about the bigger totals? What are the odds of getting half a foot of snow? Let's change it to that. And it is still basically a guarantee from New York City to Boston and all points in between, basically all of Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and the Jersey Shore here. Yeah, you're going to get half a foot of snow probably out of this. It seems to be just about a guarantee. Now, it gets a little bit more iffy, though, into Philly to DC and that kind of corridor. As I showed you a second ago, the models are maybe not quite as well aligned on you. You have a big ceiling for sure. You could still get a foot and a half of snow, but your floor is also lower. So DC kind of in that 50-50 shot of half a foot of snow. Philly on the higher end, more like a 70-80% chance of half a foot. Baltimore, kind of a 60-70% chance of half a foot. You go down into Dover, probably about a 75% chance of half a foot. And these are still big numbers. It's just not maybe a guarantee like you're saying, kind of into Cape May and up to New York City and through Providence, Boston, into Worcester, Springfield, Hartford, Waterbury. A lot of those areas, yeah, you're going to get half a foot. Let's bump this up even more, all right? That's the half a foot numbers, and you can even see that extending all the way up into parts of Nova Scotia and Maine. Let's move this up. Let's go a foot of snow. What are the odds we get a foot of snow? Well, let's let that load and do its magic and see what it says. And yeah, it's still basically a guarantee into eastern Long Island through Providence and Boston. I mean, this is a quarter that really is going to get crushed, folks. I don't ever want to say you're guaranteed a foot of snow, but it looks to be pretty close to a darn certainty here in the ensemble guidance, at least. Although the blended models is kind of an ensemble, kind of not, but that's another story for another time. New York City, though, the odds of a foot of snow, about a 70-80% chance. Philly, the odds are, coming down a little bit, down to a 60% chance of a foot. DC, much lower. So you're starting to see, as we up the ceiling here, areas further back to the south and east kind of get dropped out of the map a little bit. DC, not as good, but Baltimore, not as good. But once you get New York City to Boston, that is the corridor to watch for big time snow. Let's go crazy. What are the odds of 20 inches of snow? Let's let the map load and let it do its magic. Yeah, that's impressive. I'll be honest, it's not very often that you see numbers like this. An 80% chance for Boston to see 20 inches of snow. Same thing for Providence. New York City, about a 60% chance of 20 inches of snow. Philly, you start to really drop off here by 20 inches. Cape Cod, obviously on the higher end of this as well. So I've said it before, I'll just keep saying it. I really think it's this corridor from kind of New York City up to Boston, down to Providence, Brockton, Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, Montauk, really much Long Island. That is the place to be if you want to see really high snowfall numbers out of this. Really do think so. All right, that was a look at the probability side. I would be remiss though if I did not show you just some good old-fashioned model numbers on total snow. So let's show you that, talk about the wind, and talk about the cold coming in behind this, and then I'll let you go. Now, I'm not forgetting about my friends down into the Mid-Atlantic, and we'll talk about this section's going to be quick, but basically the Appalachian chain, you are going to get some snow out of this. I do think the mountains of North Carolina, the Smokies, up through the high country. It's been tough sledding recently, quite literally, after we had the big snows and ice storms over the past month or so. The past week has been pretty warm. I had a friend actually up at, I think, Beach Mountain skiing, and he was like, yeah, it's just slush up here. So you're going to get back in on the action here out of this. Don't worry, you will definitely get some snow. You can see this is the European model. This is the Canadian model, which goes a little bit higher for some of you. The GFS, even higher than everybody else. The Icon kind of in between. And you can kind of just see the idea, though. You're going to get something out of this, especially West Virginia. I think that region going to really cash in with a foot plus of snow there for your ski resorts, looking pretty good. But even southwestern Virginia and down into western North Carolina, at least the Northwest Flow areas, probably not so much Asheville, Brevard, and areas like that, but the typical Northwest Flow region is going to cash in. Also something to know, Indiana, Ohio, yeah, this won't be a blockbuster event for you, but you're going to get some snow, I think is a point to take home. Now the Northeast, let's not jump scare you immediately with the NAM. How about that? Let's start with the European. I think the European is in a pretty safe bet, okay? I think this is a pretty safe, maybe not floor, but, maybe on the slightly lower end of things. But if I was a meteorologist up here and I was kind of scared to put the crazy numbers, I would probably do something kind of like the European. It very well shows that big bullseye right over kind of Boston through Providence and into southern Mass of at least kind of that 18-inch range. 18 to 24 is what I would put there for sure. If again, I was a little bit on the more scared side, but then shows, kind of the 8-inch plus range in this pink color from Jersey up through Long Island and even up into the Hudson Valley, Western Mass, Southern Vermont, New Hampshire, kind of Nashua up to Concord and into the down east areas of Maine, and then goes a little bit lower into Philly to New York, Philly down to DC rather, where it's more of that 3 to 6 range. I think this is a good floor, but there is the world that things like the GFS happen, and the GFS is just a blockbuster of a storm. From really Philly all the way up to Boston there with half a foot to, let me try that again. A foot to 2 feet of snow, rather. It's like even hard to even say out loud. It's crazy how high these numbers are. Shows that. And again, I think this is probably more of a ceiling. I think this is what the highest end would be for many of us. Somebody easily could find 30 inches of snow out of this storm. I think that's very possible, but I think it would be up here, like I said, kind of in that black circle on your map is where the highest ceiling is. And you could go super crazy like the NAM, which I do not buy the highest totals being down into Jersey and Philly and into Wilmington. Anything's possible, but I'd put a solution like this much lower on the probability scale, maybe like that 10% range. And then here is this model. I think this one also a great look. This is RDPS. I think that's a pretty safe bet as well, but I would probably bump up some of the totals there into Massachusetts. So you get the idea, folks. A big snowstorm's on the way. That is basically a guarantee at this point. A blizzard for many of us. And it is going to be big time. I wish I could be up there and experience this one with y'all, but duty's called down here in Charlotte for me to do the whole TV thing, so it is what it is. But I will definitely have to get to New England for one of these big blizzards one of these days. Y'all are going to cash in, and feel free to send me your pictures and videos. All right, let's talk about the wind side of things and then end with the cold air, and I'll let you go after that. Start with kind of a zoomed out view of the wind, because this will not just be a windy day in the Northeast. It's going to be pretty windy for many of us along the East Coast with a storm like this. Notice this is and these are max wind gusts, I should also add, so this will not be sustained winds. This will be the worst of the worst at a single given point. But by Sunday afternoon and evening, starts to get mighty breezy even into the Ohio Valley, down to the mid-Atlantic. It's going to be pretty windy Sunday night into Charlotte probably. And then this really cranks up, and Monday will be a very breezy one into the Appalachian chain from North Georgia all the way up the spine here into the Virginias, even the Great Lakes. You get the point, though. Just kind of a breezy day, all things considered. You zoom it into the Northeast, though. Yeah, this will be where the worst of it is by a lot. This is by Monday morning. This is when the blizzard conditions are really happening out here towards Montauk, much of Long Island, into the Jersey Shore. The winds are going to be crushing the Cape out here and into Nantucket, where hurricane force wind gusts, I think, are going to be pretty easy to come by. Thunder snow, blowing snow. I mean, you're going to have it all, folks. You really are with a setup like this. Boston could be gusting up near 50 to 60 miles an hour at times. The further inland you go, the less bad it'll be, but breezy for sure. And then I think the down east areas of Maine going to be mighty windy as well. Even if you're not getting as much snow, you'll still be getting the wind. So blizzard-like conditions, very possible for you. This is by Monday night, and then here you go for your Tuesday afternoon. Still breezy for sure. Whatever snow is left, which will be a lot of it, will probably be blowing around, and then we kind of calm on down by Wednesday. Final thing, our temperatures well below average temperatures on the way for the start of your work week. Here's Monday afternoon. Yeah, reminded that, February is a winter month. I know it might not feel like it. I was out last night walking around Charlotte getting some drinks with friends, and it was incredible. I was wearing a t-shirt and just pants, and it was like, wow, this is awesome. I can do this in February, but that's going to change here for many of us by Monday afternoon. You can see those well below average temperatures work on in, and the good news is it won't last forever. I think by the middle of the week, we get back to average or even above average, and that could set up shop for our next storm. You could see this would be by next week. That kind of brings another plume of some warmer air and some colder air clashing, and we'll talk about that once we get there. But for now, that's all I've got for you in today's video. All right, y'all have a great one. Stay safe. Enjoy the snow. Send me your pictures. Also, hunker down, though. It will be a big storm, and I will see you all next time.